A typical Thursday morning at Aselsi is full of activities. The line of sick and hurting people start forming in front of the clinic around 6 a.m. The food from the vendors starts cooking around 8. The older kids hit the playground as soon as they can sneak away from mom. But for many of the younger children, Thursday morning isn't about grabbing a bite or having some fun. Quite frankly, it's about survival. For many children, their first contact with Aselsi is at the far end of the clinic, here where desperate, hopeful mothers bring their babies for a chance at life. For the past several years, the Aselsi Milk Program has waged a battle for those young lives in an area that has the highest infant mortality rate in the Western Hemisphere. We're constantly amazed at how God has used a few years' supply of powdered milk to make such a big difference in literally thousands of those little lives. Unfortunately, for many of those lives, the battle rages on. Malnutrition is just one hurdle. Aselsi sees hundreds of children who have physical and mental needs that can't be met with just milk. Thankfully, the meat can be found just a few yards away. In 7-year-old Josue's mind, this is what a little boy looks like in a perfect world. Strong arms, strong legs, a picture of health. Unfortunately, Josue is not drawing a self-portrait. His world has been far from perfect.
He was the last child born to a mother that had at least 10 children. She was about 45. When he was born, the doctors said basically he's not going to live, but he survived. He was about 2 years old. He had hydrocephalus, so he had a large head, so it was hard for him to control his head. It was hard for him to sit up, so we just started him on some basic normal development, and then he started being able to sit up. He started being able to, we started getting him up in a stander, and about last year he started walking without any help.
The pictures tell the story, a story not that uncommon within the loving confines of the Aselsi Physical Therapy Program, a program opened since 2005, about the same time Margarita gave birth to Josue, a very thankful mother who has seen wonderful changes in her son's life since she first strapped him on her back and carried him to this place of miracles.
I have seen many changes. When we first came, he was very sick, always with fever. He couldn't walk, and I had to carry him on my back. He needs this therapy. Here at Aselsi, they have helped not only with therapy, but also with milk, medicine, and school. I imagine that without this program, my son would be lying in bed.
Josue is one of the fortunate ones. So many times, children in Guatemala with physical handicaps are kept out of sight. Often parents, due to lack of funds, embarrassment, or having no place to go for help, will hide their children away. Thanks to the loving and determined mother and the people of Aselsi, Josue has not become one of Guatemala's hidden children.
There's another girl, her name's Sonia, and when she was born, her parents abandoned her with her grandparents, and when her grandparents found out about her physical therapy program, she was a teenager by then, and they used to take an old wooden chair, strap her on the chair, he would strap it around his head and carry her on her back down the mountains to a dirt road, get on the back of a pickup truck, and to bring her here for physical therapy.
And so they come for help, from the backs of a loved one into the loving hands of a highly trained therapist. Therapists whose hands are getting quite full. The caseload is up to 40 children, but thanks to the financial help of those who see the need, a new clinic is being built.
We're going to need mats, we're going to need swings, we're looking for wheelchairs and rifting chairs for the school.
Getting the new clinic open is one thing, keeping it staffed and equipped will be another. Quite a challenge, but then again, taking on challenges is what this place is all about. So as the staff prays for strength to help the next group of children, Josue and his mother join hands and walk together back up that mountain, the way it's supposed to be in a perfect world. Okay, so Josue's world isn't perfect, but it continues to get better, one step at a time. For Evelyn, who suffers from cerebral palsy, it wasn't about taking steps, it was about taking a plunge.
One day her mom went in and she was shocked. Evelyn was on the floor on her knees, and Evelyn had never been able to get herself off the bed before by herself, and her bed became her little desk, her little schoolroom.
Thankfully, Evelyn's pretend classroom at home turned into something bigger and better. It was quite a day the first time Mom strapped Evelyn to her back and brought her to Aselsi's Jesus Little Lamb Center. Evelyn was more than ready.
She taught herself how to read in her own house, and she also taught herself how to write in her own home, and so she's just an incredible girl.
Sometimes it's been difficult to see that incredible girl. Sometimes it's been difficult to see beyond the obvious.
We saw that her body was a mess, but that brain was functioning at a high level. She's a very smart girl who was trapped really within her own body.
Trapped by her body for sure, but also trapped at times by her environment. Many times special needs children aren't allowed to attend public schools in Guatemala. Many times those special needs children, including Evelyn, are dealing with alcoholic fathers who pay very little attention to them. Getting attention is not a problem for Evelyn at Aselsi's Jesus Little Lamb Center.
Writing is more difficult, but Evelyn's reading, doing math, ready for a lot of the more advanced things that we don't see a lot of our students doing.
Last year, she surprised us at the end of the year by telling us that she was going to open her own store and that she wanted to run it out of her house. She was going to sell some candies and different things like that.
But then again, nothing really surprises us about Evelyn. Her intelligence, her desire to learn, her sunny disposition, despite the challenges she faces every time she makes her journey to Aselsi. The smile is impossible to miss.
The joy on her face as she was able to come to school with her mother's help, in a wheelchair, but with a backpack. Just her whole horizon opened up before her.
Opening up horizons for thousands of children is what Aselsi does each and every year. Trusting God for the provision and thanking Him each and every day for the opportunity. As we say at Aselsi, equipping the saints. Or as a missionary said long ago, let us be the ones who say we do not accept that a child dies because he does not have the food and drugs that you and I have. Let us be the ones to say we are not satisfied that your place of birth determines your right to life. Let us be outraged. Let us be loud. Let us be bold.